day, BroadCoven. I'm here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip, and we're just going to dive right into it. We are going to see whatever message wants to come through from Spirit today. I'm opening up with the Halloween Oracle here. If you're drawn to this title, this message is for you. We got Night Song, Hidden Talents. There's some hidden talent that's awakening for you right now, collective. Let's see what this is about. This might be a talent for being able to open up to greater levels of psychic awareness. You might be noticing that you're able to tap into messages more. Some of you are opening up as a channel. Some of you are opening up to gifts of mediumship. You may be finding that these gifts are really strengthening you at this time. You may be wondering if you're meant to share these gifts. You might have some kind of something relating to the voice. I feel like right now there might be some kind of fear or intuition in relation to this, coming in with the scrying intuition in reverse, okay? You might be doubting what's coming through for you. You may be getting some messages coming through and you're doubting what's coming through for you. There's some part of this that is very important for you to acknowledge at this time, okay? Remembrance, the lamp, okay? This is about remembering that you've had these gifts before. You shut them down in the past. I feel that. You shut them down at one point. I think they filled you with a certain sense of fear. These might have been gifts that you were very connected to when you were younger, but for some reason you shut this down. Something happened. Some of you started to kind of like explore the occult, and maybe you kind of like got your fingers burned a little bit, and it filled you with a certain fear that now has you kind of blocking your intuition. This might also have something to do with like religious programming. You know, you have these gifts awakening in you, and yet, you know, your religious programming tells you that there's something wrong about this. I feel like you are rising up out of this, though. There's something awakening within you. I feel like it's coming through your ancestry. I feel like there's some kind of like gift. Like maybe there are a lot of people in your bloodline that have the clairs, you know. There's something about this, and there's something that is awakening within you. Look at how that marigold is over the third eye. I'm really picking up strong like ability to have mediumship, you know. You know, you're able to communicate with spirit directly, and you may be feeling like, oh, this is really like taboo. You might be having a hard time really stepping into this. It says creating through the ashes. For some of you, you have a connection to Hawaii. You have a connection with the islands. I'm noticing these almost remind me of the plumeria petals behind this skull. Maybe you are really feeling a lot. Maybe you even felt what happened, you know, coming in for Hawaii. Maybe there's something about this. Maybe you had some kind of vision about this. Lahaina, just sending out like lots of love to Lahaina and all the people in the islands that are moving through that transformational time. I know that, you know, I'm originally from Sonoma County, California, and we've dealt with fires there and a lot of loss, and there's a lot of intensity around confronting the grief of the temporal nature of things. 4:44 on the clock, how quickly we can see something just, you know, just vanish before our very eyes, how quickly life can change, how deeply destabilizing that is. I feel like there's something connecting with this for some reason. It's coming in very strongly. And it's also about understanding that maybe you need to get a different perspective of these gifts if you've had fear, resistance around it. These gifts are meant to be brought forward because they can build a certain light in the world. They can bring in healing, creating through the ashes. You know, maybe it's time when you start to feel this energy building in you, work with it instead of repressing it, trying to shut it down. Allow this energy to come forward and direct it in a loving way. You know, maybe send some love, send some healing energy to the people of Hawaii. Send that love and that healing energy to all of those being impacted by the fires there. Okay. This is a way you can maybe develop a different kind of relationship with these gifts that are awakening in you. I feel like this message is for somebody that is having certain psychic awareness open up within them, a certain ability to be able to communicate with spirit, may have had some kind of negative experience in the past opening up to these gifts, maybe was shamed for them or was told that they were evil, or, you know, there's something wrong with really working with this energy. And so there was a repression that happened, but I feel like you're remembering your gifts. And I feel like it's coming through your ancestors. You may have had a particular ancestor reaching out to you that you've been making contact with. And there's some peace here. There's some peace here too about forgiveness, maybe forgiving yourself. Maybe you feel a certain sense of disappointment in yourself that you pushed this part of you down too, that you repressed it. You might also feel anger at others who shamed you for your gifts or who tried to silence this voice. You might even be having memories from past lives in relation to this, okay? Of a time when your insight was silenced. Maybe you were an oracle. Maybe you were an oracle in the past life. This is definitely a more esoteric message, okay? Yes, look at this, bottom of the deck energy, ancestors. Something's awakening on the DNA level, you know, it's awakening within that bloodline. I feel like your ancestral bloodline, like you have a lot of family members that have this gift, have these gifts, have psychic gifts. And maybe it hasn't really been talked about a lot in your family, but I feel like you have ancestors who had these gifts. And this healing knowledge is being awakened in you now, the love and legacy of our DNA, right? You're meant to pay this forward, meant to work with this energy. Again, like try working with it, like directing the energy forward in that way. I think it can be very helpful. Let's see. You know, it's interesting. I prepared a certain deck for you, but it doesn't feel like the deck I want to use. Oh, should I bring these in? Let's bring these in. I'm going to bring in this deck here. This is some playing cards I got at an antique store. You know, the cardinals on the other side of there. The card there, you know, it's that cardinal energy coming in. This is like messages from spirit, like on the real, okay? I feel like I'm talking to somebody who's awakening to a deeper level of clairs, and it's a little bit of a bumpy ride. Maybe they're encountering a little fear or resistance around this. It might be mediumship. I'm picking up mediumship pretty strongly. So we're going to use these cards here. I don't want to work with my shadow and light. I think it's very interesting. There's like some kind of comfort that's needing to be created around this opening up. Yes. 9 of Hearts, okay? There's something about this, you know, you're meant to really be empowered by what's coming through for you, all right? It's like the gift. It's the gift of your bloodline with that Ace of Clubs, with that 9 of Hearts. And there's something about moving away with the 8 of Hearts from some kind of fear or resistance in relation to this, because this is really about coming into partnership with the support of your ancestors and feeling that love. There's a need to cut off any sense of like fear around moving forward with what's wanting to come through for you, and a need to drop defenses around it, because I feel like you're blocking the energy. Are you picking that up very strongly? There's a need to have some clearing in the crown chakra, all right? In particular around other people's ideas, perceptions of your gifts and what you told yourself about it, okay? You can really easily clear the crown chakra with doing like pour overs. I love pour overs for clearing the crown chakra, even getting just some beautiful rose water, you know, that you've held and you've just like prayed into and you've directed your intention into, and then just pouring a little of that rose water on your crown. It's a beautiful way to just like have a very simple cleansing purification ritual. You can also like rest like any kind of clear quartz or, even a Herkimer diamond, on the crown, just to kind of clear the energy. And it's also really important to have good shielding, when you're opening up to these gifts, and grounding. It's very, very helpful. It allows you to really step into the gift, the opening of these gifts within you, this Queen of Hearts energy. It's a new level of intuition. And I feel like there's some of you out there that are even feeling called to like maybe make this part of your work, okay? With the 9 of diamonds coming up here. But you're a little intimidated to step into it for some reason. There might be some concern about judgment. There might be some concern about how will people react if I do this. For you, it might even feel a bit like coming out of the closet. And yet you feel very powerfully drawn to share your voice in this way. I'm getting that very strongly. You want to infuse these gifts that are coming in for you into the work that you're doing moving forward. And there's this piece of you, I don't know what's coming through. It's just like a concern about how it will be received. It has a lot to do with other people's ideas, though. So I feel like there's really this need to keep the crown clear, Keep your crown clear. Don't let other people plug their ideas, their beliefs about who you are, what's acceptable, any of that. And, you may think, oh, I've cleared a lot of that. But it's interesting, like, especially in terms of ancestry, looking back, tracing your bloodline, it's like, what, those beliefs can be encoded in you, If you come from a real, like, puritanical background, you might be surprised how much is just kind of coded into your DNA there. That's what generational healing is about. It's really about clearing the slate from what's caused disappointment, okay? Not blocking these gifts based on, that's another thing that can block your gift. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like it works on multiple levels there, okay? It can work against you because you can let those beliefs, run the tape in your consciousness, and then soon you're telling yourself stories about why you can't open up to these gifts, or why these new sensations that you're picking up in your body, these new impressions you're having, how they're somehow wrong, and yet there's nothing more empowering than really owning your experience, what you're experiencing. So there's some kind of healing that's happening here. I feel that's about taking down your defenses and getting used to opening up this energy and being able to stay balanced in doing so. And in doing so, you're kind of like cutting the cord and ending a cycle on what's created a lot of fear for you around really stepping into these gifts. And I do see you stepping into it on a financial level. I do. It brings big, like, Queen of Diamonds energy. And I love that the King of Hearts comes in with the Queen of Hearts here. Look at this. It's like you're going to come into a place of balance in this situation, and it's going to be a good provider for you, financially. Financially, it's going to provide for you. So if you've been sitting here wondering, like, is it okay for me to share this part of myself? I want to infuse more of my gifts, my spiritual gifts into the work I'm doing. Maybe you already work in some kind of capacity where you hold space for people. You might be somebody who's like a body worker, or perhaps you offer some kind of coaching, maybe something that has nothing to do with this, or so it seems, on the surface, like maybe you're a personal trainer or something like that, but you have these gifts, and it actually provides a certain level of awareness in working with your clients that really greatly benefits them. And you might be looking to bring a little bit more of this forward. You might find more fulfillment in your current career if you infuse this in your work. And it could be something that really sets you apart in the quality of what you have to offer the people you're working with, right? I do feel like there's some disappointment you've had around this. I do feel like you haven't been really fulfilled in the work you've been doing, and you're wanting to incorporate. Oh man, right as I say this, a little throat blockage.
Yes, I think you're really wanting to like incorporate more of this into the work you're doing, but there's some kind of like, there's some kind of fear around it and something that needs to be healed around it. Around really opening up to your gifts. There's like so much blockage. I actually feel like I'm going to go out there. I don't care. It's what's coming in. For some of you, you know this energy. It's actually past life energy and a life where you were silenced, you know, and it's about really overcoming that. And maybe you come from an ancestral bloodline where your ancestors were really silenced, you know, and it's about their voice rising up out of you. Ooh, ooh, yes, yes. Jack of Clubs, freedom from oppression. This is powerful. From what stole that legacy. Yes, you know, powerful Queen of Spades energy. That is the truth. That is the truth, man. Look at this beautiful alignment. 4 of Clubs. I feel like whoever is having these gifts awaken in them, man. Yes, you're meant to move forward. You're meant to move forward with this, and you're meant to share it like it's a gift that's coming through you. I'm going to go ahead and pull out this Paulina Tarot here. I want to get a little more on this. This is an interesting read to me. I like the spiritual reads, you know, work in the path. Yeah, look at this. There may be people who won't agree with it. I mean, let's just call it out. Let's just call it what it is. There's people who may judge you. Yeah, you know, not everybody will like you heading in this direction, but you need to really defend this because this is a gift that you're meant to bring forward now. And it's a gift that will also support you. All right. And you got protection. You got protection as you kind of like take this stand for who you are, you know, let yourself be seen on this level. Bring your most authentic self forward. I mean, there does come a point where if you're somebody that's opening up to your spiritual gifts, if you continue to like repress it and not allow it to be witnessed and seen, because that's why they awaken in you. They don't awaken in you for you to hoard to yourself. They awaken to be shared. They awaken to be shared. So it allows others to feel inspired to awaken to their own gifts and share their gifts too, because we all have gifts. The gifts just need to be activated, you know, and the more people that have courage in stepping into their gifts, the more it inspires others to do the same. And it's very catalytic and it's beautiful. Okay. Yeah. Look at this 6 of Cups. I feel like you were really in touch with this gift when you were a child. Your mother may even have these gifts, maybe just never talked about it, you know, never talked about it. You might share, this may have been something that was born in you through your mother's bloodline. There might be a lot of spiritual gifts on your mother's side. Okay. And I feel like these gifts are really being awakened in you right now. I felt like you were in touch with them when you were a child. You know, yes. Reaffirmation. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. See, it shows this balancing. I feel like you might be a little intimidated by it right now because maybe when you start to get connected with the energy, when it's the messages start coming in for you, there's a part of you that's not, I feel like you need to do something with your body. Like you need to get more foundationally rooted in your body. It's the energy is going too much up into the upper channels. And because of that, it's feeling overwhelming. And this is what's making you feel out of balance. So you want to make sure that, you know, you're eating, you know, you're eating meals, that you're getting good meals in, you know, that you're putting up good shielding. And even exercising your body is important just to kind of like clear excess energy because it's a lot of energy, you know, it can get buzzy at times. And if that starts disrupting your sleep because you haven't like given the energy of physical outlet, like somewhere to go when you're done getting a download, it can disrupt your sleep. That can make you feel even more depleted. It can be really taxing on your nervous system. I mean, channeling can be really taxing on your nervous system. It's super important that you're like taking care of foundational things. I think once you do that, you're going to realize that it allows you to come more into alignment with the energy And not only that, I feel like then you'll really be able to incorporate it in the work you're doing, and you're going to realize how these two things can really coexist, and you can feel really supported in this work financially too. Okay. And that there's nothing wrong with that, because there's enough abundance to go around. You may have some like questions about that. Is it okay? Is it, you may feel like, I don't know if it's ethical for me to charge for this. Sometimes people run into that, but it's like, it's your time, it's your energy, and you have to think of it as spiritual counseling. You're holding space for some heavy stuff for people. It gets real when you're a reader. It gets real, and so it's not just that. It's your time, it's your energy. It's also the space you're creating, the experience you're creating, the coaching you're bringing in when you're working with clients. Okay. That might have been why you've refrained from really incorporating it in your work in the past, but these two things can coexist beautifully. All right. And I think it's just more of a burden for you to continue to do the work that you're doing. And in fact, you may feel like you've had a real slump in your work. And you're like, I don't understand. I was really like busy and I was doing very well, but now I feel like I've hit this like block in my work. That's why. It's because you're doing a bunch of stuff that is just a burden to you. It's not where you're really being led. It's not the work you're being called to do. And it's like, here's Rabbit here, like, if you want fertility, if you want growth where you really want to see it, it's about laying down the burden. And I feel this is also like what I was talking about, that crown chakra, like everybody else's opinions, everybody else's ideas of what you should do. And it's just become something that's like weighing you down. You got to stop worrying about what other people are going to think about you taking these actions and just go for it. And it's going to be very successful for you. And will it be trial and error? And will it be an unknown zone? And will it be awkward at first? It may, but that's part of the straightening by fire, man. And that's part of really owning your gifts. Okay. I don't know why I feel called toward Kipper Deck. So let's root it in some just practical reality too. Let's bring it down to earth, because you absolutely can do that. All right. Bottom of the deck energy. Yeah. This is going to be a journey for you. All right. You're heading into a whole new phase in your life. There may even be a journey that comes in connection with this. Okay. There may be some journey you go on that really makes you realize you might visit a place or come into contact with somebody. And there's something about this that opens up a whole new path for you. And I feel like you're at the start of this journey. There's something new opening up in relation to psychic gifts. That's what I got. It's coming in very strongly as mediumship. Okay. And also just, bloodline gifts. Like, I feel like this is a gift that's been in your family for a long time. And I get that it always awakens in people in your family bloodline, like by a certain age. That's interesting. That's interesting. I just saw 51 on the clock. For some of you, that's 51. Clued into that 51 seconds. I think you first were in touch with this gift at the age of 5, though, something like really young. Yeah, I think this is something that, with house in reverse here, I think this is something like, yeah, very foundational, it's very foundational. It's real deep, in your bloodline. There's something here. It's something that's waking up in you. And it's going to inform the work that you're doing in the future in some way, okay? So let's just see. Anything else Kipper wants to bring in here around this? I find this fascinating. This is also with that house. It's making me think the foundation. Your body is the house for this energy to come into. So it's really important that you're taking good physical care of your body right now. Make sure you're clearing out the energy after you get a big download. And make sure you're really just nourishing yourself, really feeding yourself well and getting good quality sleep. These are like the most foundational things, the basics of self-care. You can really go out on the ether, when you're really starting to open up to something, and your health can really suffer. and downloading the energy. It can fry out your nervous system, man. It really can. Like, the energy body is a real thing. So clearing out your energy is super important. And it's great to clear it out physically. I mean, exercise is a great way to do that. Okay. Yeah, look at this. You might have been dealing with this recently. We got bad health here, okay? You might have been dealing with this recently. You might feel like your vitality's gone down a little bit. You might notice that you're feeling a little sluggish. You're feeling a little tired. Maybe, you know, you're felt a little heavy, you know, just your thoughts have been a little heavy, you know? Yeah, it's like high honor. It's like, yeah, high honor and community coming in. You got like all these ancestors ready to talk to you. You know, you got that crown blown wide open. You know, all this information is coming in, and it's sort of like, yeah, it can be taxing. It can be taxing. Maybe you've been getting a lot of communication coming in, and you're like, whoa. And maybe you're also starting to really tap into the collective energy, and it feels really overwhelming, you know, just because your channel is becoming more open, you know, and that becomes even more important to keep the channel clear. Anything else here from Kipper deck? Anything else here from Kipper deck? And then I'm going to get card from the angels just to kind of like cap this off. It feels pretty complete. Anything else, Kipper? No? Okay. I'm getting to move on to the angels here. So let's go ahead and get some guidance from the angels about this. Oh, that card wanted to be left behind just as a bird flew by the window. So message from Spirit coming in here. Knight of Cups, Ariel, the revealing God. Perception and revelation discovers hidden treasure and reveals secrets of nature. Wow. So definitely, you know, you're opening up to a higher level of channeling. Some of you may even be working with angel energy. This is the first time you've really opened up to this energy. Ariel in particular, you might want to check into Ariel. Maybe your name is Ariel, okay? Or maybe there's somebody named Ariel that is going to come onto your path and assist you with this, you know, somebody that can help facilitate you moving through this time, kind of opening up to this energy. There, of course, may be a little mermaid connection coming in. Ah, yes, I get it. Okay. I hear you, Oshun. Yeah, you might be connecting with the Orishas. You know, if you've been connecting with Oshun, sometimes Oshun is represented as a mermaid, and Oshun is known to be gifted in divination, okay? That's her thing. She reads the cowrie shells, right? And you know, the cowrie shells, the reason why they use the cowrie shells is the cowrie shells symbolize the mouths of the Orishas. So you might be working with this. There might be somebody that can help you open up to those gifts that works within that lineage, okay? So like Yoruba tradition. Yes, that kind of coming in strongly for somebody, all right? This may be your ancestry. This may be the gifts that are awakening in you now. You know, Oshun can help you work with that, you know, connect with her energy. I feel like that's why the Ariel piece came in. It's really connecting with the, like, the mermaid energy, right? And it's interesting, you know, it's very like Venusian energy too. She's called by many names. Some refer to Oshun as Black Venus, you know. That energy is coming in really strong for somebody. You know, you might find connection to this in your ancestral lineage. I feel like some gifts are awakening for you right now. Okay. Oh my gosh, I can't make it up. You saw me shuffling. There it is again, Ariel. That's a confirmation. Same card, bottom of the deck. That is such confirmation. She is coming through for somebody. I love it. That's beautiful. Ashay. Whoever that's speaking to, that's beautiful. Such a beautiful, potent, you know, also fierce. Oshun is just Such a beautiful, powerful energy. Creatrix energy, you know? Creatrix energy, big Empress energy, like the original Empress, you know? Yes, that's coming in very strongly for someone. Okay, anything else, angels? And we're going to wrap this up. I think this is really about you're in a time of maybe healing some shame or some fear, you know, that's been put around. Ooh, okay, some of you are really connecting with your ancestral spirituality, and it's a departure from your kind of traditional Christian upbringing. Yes. And yes, and it's hard. You feel like it feels insecure to step into this, you know, and you're afraid of the backlash. I got that with the Four of Pentacles. But this is like, look at this. It says self-atonement cures mental illness and deliverance from persecution. This is about you understanding that those ideas that put fear within you around you embracing the legacy and richness of your ancestral bloodline spirituality. Like, those are the roots. Like, you're tapping the roots right now. This is going to do nothing but support you in all ways. You watch. Mind, body, spirit, and in your material reality. Like, it's going to be a source of abundance for you because it connects you with your gifts. And then once you connect with your gifts, then you get to be like that, the legacy of your ancestry, you know, all those dreams that they had get to be expressed through you and how you offer your gifts to the world. Like, this heals so much for you. You know, it heals so much for you. You know, there's no need to have any guilt about stepping into this self-atonement. I love that. Cures mental illness. It's an illness that's put on people to be afraid of stepping into their empowerment, to be afraid of stepping into their gifts, to be afraid of like stepping into the richness of their bloodline spiritual traditions. Like, don't allow that to be taken from you, discarded, thrown away. This is deliverance. You know, it's beautiful. Beautiful energy here. Judgment. I love it. I think we're going to close it off on that because that's just such a beautiful come around. And it says, again, it says atonement. Atonement of errors destroys the power of enemies. And what is the enemy? The lie, right? The lie is the enemy. 33:22 on the clock. You're meant to come into alignment with this. And you're stepping out of this place from the Ten of Wands and feeling overwhelmed, you know, to this place here, spiritual communication, influences, religious men, teachers, men of law. You're meant to bring this influence forward in the world. It's your gift. It's your shay. It's what you're meant to share. Yes. Yes. And in this place where you felt cut off from it and you're afraid of people pointing their finger at you, making judgments of you, you don't need to worry about that with the Six of Pentacles because you have support here. You have divine grace, and it's going to protect you from anything that would try to keep you separated from your birthright, all right? This looks really beautiful, opening up to beautiful spiritual gifts, and I think it's just time to just trust what's awakening in you. It was 34 on the clock, 7-7. It's time. It's time for this change. Open up and take good care of yourself through this process.